Hello, this is Ed with Empire Property Management. So, been getting a lot of requests for a market update just because the market, it's in flux. It's changing as it always is. This time, not for the better. So, we're getting a lot of questions as to why my property is not renting, at least not renting that quickly. Why do I have to lower the rent? Things of that nature. Why do I have to do these things to my property? Because last year, basically, we didn't have to do anything and it would rent really quickly. So there's a lot of factors in play with the market. Ultimately, it's supply and demand, but there's other things besides just, there's other things that affect the supply and affect demand. So, on the supply side, we have too much supply. Supply is governed by the amount of units in circulation versus the number of tenants in movement. So tenants that are moving from one unit to the other. Right now, so what happens is the market starts heating up, and I've seen this. I've been a landlord for 26 years now, so this is not the first time I've seen this. But if you read, even in those last 26 years, we've had little mini markets inside of them, mini cycles within. So, but for right now, the market was heating up, and what happens when it heats up is it brings every developer and would-be real estate investor out because there's money to be made, and why wouldn't they? And the market continues to go up and up and up and up, and it brings more and more investors into the market. Well, that's really amazing, except for what happens is a lot of these developments take a year or even 2 years or 3 years to before you get a shovel in the ground. So you have to purchase the property. There's the whole planning and design stage that can take a year or two, depending on the size of the development and how difficult your city is to work with. So anyway, so the market started to tank off, as it always does. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. It started to go down, and a lot of these developments were still in the planning stage. Well, at this point, the developers and builders have spent lots of money, sometimes millions of dollars, just in the purchase of the property and development. Well, with all that money tied up in the project, you can't just put the brakes on it. You have to keep going. So that's what happens. They keep going, and so there's already, the market is starting to slow down, and then all of a sudden all these projects are approved, and more units are put on the market. So it creates a situation where it was a landlord's market and now it's a tenant's market. So that's what we have now. We have a tenant's market. It's not the end of the world. It's just another one of these cycles. One of our owners, who I've gotten to know pretty good over the years, he famously quotes, he says, it's not a matter of if the real estate market's going to go down. It's only a matter of when. So at Empire, we're here to help you weather the storm, of course. If your property is a cut above, the rest of them, then, as far as maintenance and making it a worthy home for somebody, that's what we're putting on the market, is a home for a family. So you want your home to look and feel and smell a rentable quality, and if it's above all the rest of the inventory, then you don't really have a problem getting the property rented. You might have to adjust the rent a little bit, but it's not going to really sit vacant. There are some caveats to that. Some markets are hit a lot harder than others. Student housing this year is really feeling it, and so really badly this year. And so other than that, most other markets are faring pretty well. We have had to bring rents down. Basically, we're competing with other inventory on the market, and so in order to get the rent, we have to bring it down into what the market dictates. Anyway, you have any questions about the particulars about your property, especially if it's sitting vacant, more than likely your property manager has advised you to do this or that to the property. Those things make all the difference. New flooring, new paint, making it look and feel inviting will make all the difference in getting your property rented. Anyway, again, if you have any questions about that, feel free to call us, and we're glad to chat about how to get your property rented and keep it rented. Thanks again. That's my market intake update for let's say, call third quarter of 2025. Once again, happy landlording.